Hello everybody and welcome back, it's me, Shweebe, and welcome back to the mansion! Today I shall be covering 2 requests. The first one being from SerialPillock, and his request for a dungeon be added to the mansion. Sounds pretty cool. The other one I'll be covering will be a 4x4 room requested by Djurren. I came up with a really funny idea on how I can make this work out pretty well. And as for the dungeon room, in the previous mansion, we only had the vampire set available to us. Now, I have come up with a couple ideas, and I think you're gonna like it. Just wait. But I don't want to attach it inside the mansion, so I think instead I'm just gonna set up a little, like, shed area right here. It should be, you know, I would imagine a mansion would have a decent-sized shed, though this might look a little out of place. But we'll make it work. No one will be the wiser. Okay. And here we have a rather inconspicuous shed outside this giant mansion. None would be the wiser. Maybe we're just storing some very expensive bikes or whatever. You don't know. It's none of your business, unless you live here. But I figure for now, I'll have like this nice, dark, almost aged-looking brick on the outside. I don't know if I'll keep it, only because I don't know what the main mansion decor will look like. But for now, just to add on to the overall spookiness of what could possibly be underneath there, I went with this, and a nice black roof to go with it, which again, I might change in the future, but for now, it looks nice. If anything, I'll definitely keep the interior, because this is kind of scary looking. It's just stone the whole way, a single light with some privacy windows, that way, you know, nosy neighbors and all that, and it's just gonna go straight down into the basement, which this entire place will not be dedicated to a torture room. I don't have that much stuff to work with. So now I already have a rough idea for a layout that I want for this. I'm most likely going to wind up with the dungeon area being right about here along with the 4x4, but still have room for future requests to be in that I could also squeeze down here along with the upper floors. So let's go ahead and stop putting some stuff down and see what Shweebes can create. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it. Okay. I initially placed it down and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's not 4x4. That's 2x2. That's extra small. But I already have. I know what I'm gonna do with this. It's gonna be good. So here we have the dungeon and the 4x4 room combined. Let me explain my thought process on this. Now, in the previous mansion that I had done, I went with a vampire pack because that's all that they really had that was close to a dungeony type theme of sorts. So in this one, we have a laboratory. Super awesome fun pack thing that I decided to use. Now my thought process behind this was initially, what kind of horrible scientific stuff could we do with this? But then I started thinking back on SerialPillock's kind of content, and he's covered a few SCP games. If you don't know what SCP is, you need to look it up, because they're really cool, and it's a fan-made thing, and it's awesome, and there's games, and there's lore, and it's cool. I've said that twice now. That's besides the point. Anyways, so basically just like made up monsters and beings and things that are completely out of the norm. That's more or less what I'm going for. So, you enter this way. We have decontamination showers. That way you don't have stuff on you and you don't have when you're going in or out of this area. We have look-in windows. That way you can see all of the crazy things going on. An inventor's machine, a whole bunch of other stuff for them to take notes. I don't know what this is, but it's big bolts and whatever. And I made sure the room was extra bright, especially where the mannequins are concerned. If they had a glitchy light effect, I would love that. I don't know if they actually do, but there is an SCP that is, it's about a mannequin. I forget the full story behind it, but I was like, what if I took that, tweaked it just a tiny bit, and threw it in here? So it's a family of mannequins, and the lights can't be off on them for whatever reason. Kind of think like the Weeping Angel thing. Something along those lines. Now, the 4x4 room, I attached to the whole idea of the SCP super spooky horror thing by making one of the duckies huge, and it itself is also an SCP thing. That's why I decided to add like the scratches and nicks on the wall, especially near the door. But this is going to be one of those where, unless it's watched, you won't ever see it move. So again, more of like a Weeping Angel thing, but like this one is far more dangerous than the whole family of mannequins. And more or less, they're just trying to get out because they know the rubber ducky's over here. I should probably put up more surveillance cameras now that I think about it, but that's besides the point. I went with like SCP spooky horror things in mind, and that whoever's down here is not afraid of the idea of bringing outsiders in to do some nasty experiments upon them, because we've got an x-ray machine or whatever this machine is. We got it all. We've got chemistry sets. You could wind up being a mannequin. I know there was one of those where you actually turned into a mannequin. I forget how. But that was more or less my inspiration for these rooms combined. So SerialPillock and Djurren, I hope you both enjoy this combined collaborative setup and theme that I went for. I really like how it turned out, and I hope you all do as well. I am still taking requests. Be sure to check the description below. I have a list of what has already been requested, what has been completed, and what will be completed at some point, but I still have more to go. We do have, it's like a spellcaster DLC that they came out with. I've got that. The only DLC that I don't have at the moment is the newest one where it's like farm animals and stuff, so you can get bunnies. So I don't have that just yet. I imagine here in a bit I might. But if you have any other ideas for rooms, bowling alleys, swimming pools, spa rooms, whatever, or if you just want like a personal room, just tell me exactly what you want color-wise, or if you want an overall theme, let me know down in the comment section below. I will make your dreams a reality as best I can. So, thank you all so much for watching. Hit that like button. Comment down a theme you'd like to see next added to the Fantabulous Mansion. And let's hear them. This mansion is getting some really creepy vibes all of a sudden. Battle cries. Woo! Yeah! I'll see you in the next episode.